Hi, I'm Beverly Welch. We're here at the Arbor Gate today in Tomball, Texas with our dear friend Ann Wheeler of Log House Herbs and our new little friends Rosie and company. We're here to talk to you today about herbs. Ann and I have decided that October 1st is New Year's Day for herbs. And there are a lot of reasons for it, and we're going to explain it to you today. But I want to start with our number one pick. The herb that most people ask for is basil.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about that first going into fall.
Okay, everybody is concerned about giving up their basil. And so Beverly and I wanted to talk a little bit about what you can and should do about basil right at the beginning of October. First of all, if you take a look at this one, it's blooming, it's been having flowers on it for a while. A few of the leaves are looking a little bit battered. It's time to go out and harvest your basil for whatever reason that you want to save the leaves. And then the second thing is to go ahead and pull it up out of the ground. This is your chance to make space for some of the cool seasons and perennials we're going to talk about in just a minute. Second of all, I wanted to mention one of my favorites is called bell pepper basil. This is the only perennial basil.
It is, and has been in our gardens for years.
Years.
It was introduced
By Madeline.
by Madeline Hill, so it's a wonderful basil, but it's often overlooked in the herb house. And I think it's because it has a different appearance.
Yes.
The leaves, the foliage is definitely more leathery.
Yes.
And it does have a really nice bell pepper undertone.
Yes.
But in the gardens here, it has been back for years.
And it grows to be quite a large plant, very shrubby. It likes to be in the shade, which is not true of most herbs.
True.
And last year I went out to do a little pruning and discovered mine with small spears of blooms,
Yes.
literally crawling with bees, honeybees. So this is a honeybee magnet in the fall.
Yes.
It's absolutely fantastic. So plant it in the shade, give it some space, watch for the bees
Right.
as you go.
And a great addition to your fall vegetable gardening.
Yes,
To have good pollination.
absolutely. It is a major pollinator.
Right.
Okay, so that's my word on basil. I consider October 1st the end of basil in my garden.
So when we take out these warm season, especially the basil herbs, we're going to replace them with our cool season herbs.
Yes,
And so what does that include?
a few things that I've rounded up this morning that will, one that's missing but will only grow in the cool season is cilantro. Everybody's favorite. The reason it isn't on the shelves quite yet is it's still too hot for cilantro.
Right.
As the temperature modifies and it goes down, you will see more and more cilantro available. But here's what we do have. First of all, we have lovage. This is a cool season herb that you can have in your garden. It's a classic herb for cooks. It will only do in our cool season. It can't take the summer.
And not to be overlooked. I know
Yeah,
after
yeah.
one of your classes, you threatened to stop everybody at the gate that didn't
Yeah,
have
but-
lovage and send them back in.
It's just the greatest once you taste it. It's a celery relative, so it has a complex flavor, more subtle than celery, but absolutely wonderful. So watch for that as October and November go on. Then the parsleys will be coming along, and they're also such great pollinators.
Right.
Let
and
it-
larval food for the butterflies.
Yes, and you can just let them go on in the spring, go to seed,
Yes.
make umbels, and you'll find lots and lots of little interesting beneficial insects around the parsleys. This is the flatleaf parsley. Once again, the curly parsley will be coming along as fall approaches.
But your flat leaf is a little better for culinary use,
Is
a
it?
little less water in the foliage.
Yes, and I think you just get really more flavor for the bang for the buck that
Right.
way. The other thing that you can easily plant this time of the year are these are also members of the umbel family, the dills, the fennels. These can go in this time of the year. They have a hard time making it through our summer.
Yes.
But they do get established quickly. They make quite a statement in the garden.
They're a beautiful, I like to use the fennels in the fall and winter as a substitute for my grassy plants.
Yes.
Because it gives you that light, airy texture.
Yeah.
And again, a great larval food for the swallowtail butterfly.
I like them in rose gardens.
Absolutely. They're
Yeah,
beautiful.
They're beautiful in rose gardens. Let's see, the other thing that goes in this time of the year very well is garlic herbs, garlic chives. They're great bloomers. They self-seed. You're going to have plenty to give your friends and neighbors, and they have a wonderful fragrance and flavor. The onion chives are also great for different purposes. They're very much slower growing.
Yes.
So don't get discouraged.
The blooms on both are gorgeous.
The blooms are gorgeous on both. Sometimes these come up purple.
Yes.
The flowers
Yes.
are. So those are all cool season lovers that there really isn't anything on the shelves right now that can't go into your garden except our dear beloved
Basil.
regular basils and some of the varieties of that. So kiss them goodbye, and go right on to this massive array of choices that you have.
And you know, our oreganos, our thymes, our rosemaries, all evergreens here on the
Yes.
Gulf Coast.
Yes.
Great landscape plants. We
Yes.
can't forget to use these in the landscape.
There's
They're
one.
deer resistant. They offer color, they offer fragrance, they offer texture. So there's so many reasons to plant herbs.
And so many of them go right straight into the kitchen. And Beverly, I noticed in terms of landscaping,
Yes.
here you have a dwarf myrtle that is a
Right.
lovely landscape plant.
Not to be confused with wax myrtle. This
No,
is the
no, no,
Myrtus
no.
communis,
Yeah.
and it's a wonderful landscape shrub,
Yes.
a good boxwood substitute. It blooms in the spring, that gorgeous little white flower that is fragrant, but the foliage is so fragrant, and again, deer resistant.
And also a substitute for rosemary.
Yes.
If you want to
Yes.
use it in the kitchen, it's perfectly fine too. Traditionally, those little flowers are used in bridal bouquets.
Yes,
This is another one of my favorites. It's truly a Mediterranean plant, but you can grow it here. It's Santolina. It is evergreen.
it is evergreen. Again, a wonderful mounding,
Yes.
blooms a beautiful little yellow flower in the spring, but the fragrance, I just love the fragrance
It's
of
fantastic.
these plants.
And there is a gray silvery variety
Yes.
of this. It's also very, very pretty in the garden. Here, just quickly, these are some of the other ones that are available now that are perennial herbs that love our cool climate, especially gives them a chance to get their roots growing strong before next summer comes
Right.
around again. So this is Provence lavender. It does very well here, and especially in a container. This
Yes.
works well. Be sure to mulch it with gravel. And then this one, I love this one, Beverly. I think it's a new one, silver sand.
Yes.
Lovely color. Now this Provence, when it's mature and a big plant, it will have this coloration. So
Right.
it doesn't stay this
Right.
light green. I also wanted to mention another pretty gray one. This is one of my favorites, and a beautiful landscape
Yes, it
plant is Nevaeh sage. This is a shrubby sage. It grows to be quite mounding and tall, but you can easily keep it in shape,
Right.
whatever shape. Early blooming.
Early, beautiful sky blue flowers.
Blooms.
Gorgeous.
It may be the
gorgeous.
first thing in your garden to bloom.
And evergreen here.
Evergreen. Yep.
So there's so much to do right now. We don't want to let the fall season pass
No.
us by. And we do have to remember October 1st, New Year's,
New Year's
Day
Day
for
for
herbs.
herbs.
Thank you.